I'm proud to tell you that this video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel, and by using my affiliate link in the pinned comment and in the description box, you'll not only be helping support the channel since it's a affiliate link. I do get a small commission for each sale that's made, so I don't get anything unless you guys purchase it. However, you'll also be able to get some really cool anime themed merchandise as well as energy tubs and different energy formulas. I personally use G Fuel a lot, and when it comes to anime, there's a plethora of different anime to choose from. Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, My Hero Academia, Mobile Suit Gundam, Attack on Titan, and so many other series are available on the website in the form of energy formulas packed with all the vitamins that you need and just enough caffeine to get you going for your day, which most importantly, this cannot be understated. Unlike a lot of energy products that are out there, there is no crash and there is zero sugar. Two really huge selling points of why I personally support G Fuel. And they've even got energy themed hydration formulas filled with electrolytes. In typical anime fashion, I am going to need you guys to send me your energy by clicking the affiliate link in the description and in the pinned comment, so you can buy whatever anime themed product you want. It doesn't have to be Naruto, it can be whatever anime strikes your fancy, and when you do so, make sure to use my promo code KAGE to get yourself a discount. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about everyone's favorite villain turned fodder turned punching bag named Code, and why we need to be taking a closer look at the absence of his character in the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex manga, especially given the reveal that we got with the Thorn Soul bulbs, which is why in today's newest Naruto Explain video, I wanted to talk to you guys about why Code is a character that we all need to be keeping a much closer eye on as we move deeper into the story of 2 Blue Vortex, because out of sight and out of mind, that is not something that should apply here, especially given what we have with these Thorn Soul bulbs in terms of what we need to worry about. So as we all know, at the end of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 4, the last time that we saw Code, he went from being unsure as to why Bug was now an awakened Shinjuu, and he was watching the situation with Boruto as it was getting increasingly more unstable and out of hand. Everything that Boruto had warned him about, it was now coming to be shown as true. He changed the 10 tails when he used his Karma Seal, which was given to him by an Otsutsuki, even though it was incomplete. And he used his claw marks, a power that came directly from the cells of Shiba Otsutsuki, the Otsutsuki god himself, to break apart the 10 tails into autonomous moving soldiers, each with their own free will to move around. Albeit he was able to control them at first, but Code mistakenly opened up Pandora's box, and it's what Boruto warned him all along. Boruto said, destroy the 10 tails now while you still have the ability to control them, because as he said, Code would not be able to, quote, annihilate them while you still can, end quote. Code saw firsthand this was way above his weight class. The Bug Shinjuu is strong enough that he got Boruto briefly on the defensive, and Boruto beat Code so badly that he was getting flashbacks to when Damon literally stomped him out by stepping on his back so badly the guy literally coughs up blood. He had Boruto telling him that killing him would be easy and that he didn't need to throw his life away so easy for nothing. Even the 10 tails version of Moegi and Matsuri calling him a clown to his face, saying that it was his destiny to be used by others, those and other lines never went away from my mind. And when we got introduced to the Thorn Soul bulbs in this last chapter, my mind started to shift towards Code afterwards, and it's for this following reason. Based on what we've seen, the Thorn Soul bulbs, they appear to contain the chakra of those who are bitten by the claw grimes and turned into trees. While on the other hand, the chakra in the Thorn Soul bulb looks as if it can be used to reverse a transformation. I think the other thing we need to look at is if there is some other purpose for the design that can be used, because it stands to reason that if you destroy Hidari, who produced a Thorn Soul bulb, then the same will be true for Moegi and her awakened Shinjuu Matsuri, and the same is true for Bug and his awakened Shinjuu, which as of right now, we don't have a name for him, so we're just going to use a placeholder name. His name is now forever Alonzo. So all those Thorn Soul bulbs, they contain valuable chakra, and while they can be used to restore a trapped person back to normal or to likely rebuild the destroyed awakened Shinjuu, I want to ask a question to you guys. in terms of if there isn't some other purpose for them in general. And that's why it led me to thinking about Code's character, because while Code himself is not an otsutsuki, he is carrying out the will of the otsutsuki, and that's something that we can't ignore as we consider the possibility of there being a third purpose for the Thorn Soul Bowls, which look like they are a chakra fruit themselves. So Code might not be otsutsuki, but he is carrying on their will via Ishiki's last words to go out and create a chakra fruit by feeding either Boruto or Kawaki to the Ten Tails, which in turn will allow him to update his body and begin the process of going from planet to harvest chakra fruits until he obtains godhood. Code said on himself, things that allude to the fact that consuming a chakra fruit directly results in humans being able to update their bodies into otsutsuki, but there were a few lines that exist in the lore that does make me wonder if there is something Code is missing here, and that could tie back into with the Thorn Souls themselves. So we've been told by more than one person, including Orochimaru, someone who has been researching not just the Otsutsuki clan as a part of his condition to release, but he's also been researching the god tree itself. And he took one look at Victor, who was attempting to make a god tree and a chakra fruit, and he called him a fool. I want you to take a moment and think about how truly insane that is. So Orochimaru, someone who is obsessed with gaining new knowledge and information, went as far as traveling to Ridaku in order to retrace the steps of the Sage's Six Paths. We learned this in Sasuke Retsun's novel in a scene not shown to us in the anime. The same with the scene from Naruto Retsun, which was not adapted at all in the anime. So that's an area of the world where Hagoromo lived in during his final days, and he has done so much research on Hagoromo that he found a connection between the Byakugo seal and the Otsutsuki clan via Hagoromo. Someone that thirsty for knowledge didn't look at Victor's efforts and say, hey, him remaking the god tree and the chakra fruit for himself and go, hey, yeah, this is commendable and it's a good effort, or to show any remote interest in it himself. You would think Orochimaru would be into something like that. Instead, Orochimaru took one look at it and he said he's a fool, saying that the god tree is something beyond human comprehension. Orochimaru is not the type of person who turns away from a challenge when it comes to knowledge. But that one thing, the god tree, that is where he interestingly was able to draw a line and say, I'm not touching that, and if you are smart, you're not touching anything that has to do with it either. That speaks volumes to what Orochimaru found during that time. Yet here we have Code, someone who worshipped Ishiki because he was an Otsutsuki. He admired Jigen for being the vessel of Ishiki. He hated Kawaki for being more compatible with the Karma Seal of Ishiki than himself, and Kawaki not wanting anything to do with the Otsutsuki. Right now, Code is desperate, and he is desperate to feed Boruto Kawaki to the Ten Tails in order to get a chakra fruit, and he is hoping that Ishiki is right, that he will be able to update himself into an Otsutsuki after doing so, something Code has desperately wanted. That's why his actions in chapter 4, they are so telling. He appeared as if he had lost a weight that had been weighing him down on his shoulders, because as he said, he no longer needed to do the heavy lifting anymore. The awakened Shinjuu, they were going to hunt down Boruto or Kawaki form. The awakened Shinjuu were going to devour them, and when they did so, he will be able to waltz right into the situation, watch over a harvesting of a chakra fruit, and then consume it afterwards and complete his transformation into becoming an Otsutsuki. And yet here's a problem. He's already shown he's not completely compatible with Otsutsuki genetics as it is. Just getting Ishiki's karma when Jigen touched Code when he was a kid and he passed on Ishiki's karma, it almost killed him as it was. He barely survived that encounter. We could argue he only barely survived because he had ninja tech because Amato made him a cyborg. He did take a fragment of Shibai's DNA to make use of the claw mark Shinjutsu, but it's only a fragment. It's not even his full DNA, which makes a lot of sense. He could barely handle Ishiki's DNA, so all of Shibai's DNA, it is out of the question, and Amato's ninja tech appears to have limitations because every person he's made into a cyborg, they only have small fragments of Shibai's DNA to use various aspects of his power. No one person has all of his powers all together, which that just speaks volumes to how broken Shibai is. But that brings a question up. Is having a defective karma that only contains enough of Ishiki's DNA to give Code the power of karma, but it isn't sustainable enough to be used for the purposes of resurrection, is that truly enough to survive eating a chakra fruit? It's something I've always wondered, going as far back as to when Ishiki gave him that quest. The reason being is that the chakra fruit is more overpowered then sometimes I think fans realize the Earth's chakra fruit was already so cracked that we were told it is a clan law. You're supposed to report anything over a 10 directly to the clan, but the thing is that this one is over 16, and it's only becoming more potent now because it contains all the genetic data of all living beings who have ever existed on this planet at any time, which now that would also include Ishiki, Momoshiki, and Kinshiki. They have to be factored in because they came to the planet. Can that defective karma be enough to withstand genetic data of that sort? I mean, it's possible, maybe. This is a shonen, so we've seen crazier things happen. Boruto did say that despite Code's karma seal being defective, it possessed enough that it could also fundamentally alter the tentacles in the claw grime. So there is an otsutsuki link there. It was able to lead to an evolution which has now gone far beyond Code's capacity to control them. So again, there is something there, but that brings me to the Thorn Soul bulbs. So the Thorn Souls, they represent something that Boruto warned about. They represent further evolution that Code never anticipated. The awakened Shinjuu that the Thorn Souls come from now have their own ego. They have been evolving and showing more human traits and desires. Those Thorn Souls are also shown taking the appearance of a chakra fruit, which, as we've seen with these fruits before, particularly those that contain chakra, they have a tendency to be consumed. We know that the chakra fruit gets consumed for the purposes of upgrading the person who eats it, but what about the Thorn Soul? What happens if someone consumes the Thorn Soul that is made up of the genetics of the tentacles and the chakra of another living being? While I'm not ready to go this far, which naturally some dumbass will say that's exactly what he said in the video because they did not watch the video, but I do think it is worth calling into question the possibility of there being another purpose for the Thorn Souls besides being used to free those who are trapped or to rebuild the awakened Shinjuu who are destroyed. Is that a possibility? I think we need to ask that. Could consuming something that used to be a Tentacles, a small part of the Tentacles DNA, be used as a buffer to the eventual consumption of the chakra fruit? Think of it like food. Think of it like a palate cleanser. If you guys have been to any of those restaurants where they serve you like multiple small dishes, like they bring out one thing and then they bring out another that's a palate cleanser, then they bring out another food and it just keeps going on and on. I'm wondering if it will be something like that. I ask because I do find it very hard to believe that Code is doing absolutely nothing right now. He said he let the awakened Shinjuu do all the work for him, which means in some kind of way he is keeping tabs, waiting for the right moment to show up. But I can't shake the feeling there's something more here that we're missing. But again, I don't think it's eating the Thorn Souls themselves, but there is something that makes me want to directly question this. Are the Thorn Souls something that is going to come up in the future with Code? And so I want to see where the community is on this topic, which I'm interested to see you guys' thoughts on this, as well as how many of you guys are going to be clicking here for my anime explain video on the left, or those you guys who want more Naruto content, click here on the right.